Good morning. Welcome to our daily devotion. It is Saturday. It is August 7th. I'm hoping to see many of you from Collision tomorrow morning at the church. It's going to be a nice day. It's not going to be hot. It's going to be a perfect day for to meet. So I'm hoping to see everybody there. We're looking at Bible words, important words in the Bible, and the word we're looking at this morning is anger. Morning one, anger. We all know what that means. Some of us have an issue with it more than others. The first thing you need to know is that anger is in itself is not a sin. Anger. Too many people think of anger as being a sin. It's not a sin. Here's what is a sin. In Galatians 5, it lists all the acts of the sinful nature, and it lists sexual immorality, drunkenness, and it has hatred, discord, jealousy, and it has fits of anger. Fits of anger. Good morning, Mary. Morning, Ronnie. Good to have you this morning. It has fits of anger. So anger itself is not a sin, but uncontrolled anger is a sin. Here in Ephesians 4:26, it tells us this. This should help you. It says, "In your anger, do not sin." It doesn't say anger is a sin. It says, "In your anger, do not sin." How? Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. In other words, holding on to your anger. And do not give the devil a foothold. So God is telling us here that getting angry about something is not a sin, but holding on to that anger. Now that's a sin. I love what it says here in Psalm 4:4. It says this: "In your anger, do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your hearts." Hear that? When you're on your beds, search your hearts. Remember we just read, do not let the sun go down on your anger? Well, here God is saying that when you're laying in your bed, search why you're angry. In other words, deal with your anger. Deal with it. Don't hold on. Don't let the sun go. Don't hold on to that anger. Don't wake up the next morning with that same anger. Because when you do that, then you do sin. But just anger in itself is not a sin. I used to really struggle with this. I used to really struggle with anger. Ronnie can vouch for this. We had a father that was angry most of his life. He was not fun to be around because he was always angry, always upset, and I can remember telling myself that I didn't want to be like that. And I can remember driving home from work, driving down the street, telling myself, now, Jim, when you walk in the house, you're not going to get angry. You're not going to get upset. Stay calm, no matter what. Stay calm. I would pull in the driveway, I'd walk in the house, and as soon as I walked in my house, my wife would lay something on me about something that happened, and poof, I'd blow up. I just told myself that I wasn't going to do that no matter what, and then boom, I'd set off. Many times I'd be driving in the car, and the kids would do something in the car, and it would trigger my anger, and I would get angry. And I can remember many times driving and reaching back to try and swat one of them for whatever they were doing. Uncontrolled anger. Uncontrolled anger. Now, it wasn't until I became a Christian and I received God's Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit just kept convicting me and convicting me and convicting me until finally I was able to get better control of it. Proverbs gives us a whole bunch of things to look at with anger. In 22, verses 24 and 25, it says, "Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not associate with one that is easily angered, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared." It's no fun to be around someone that gets angry all the time. It was no fun for us kids being with our father, who was constantly getting angry. Now my mother was a different story, the opposite. It was no fun for my kids being around me when I got angry, when I would get angry. That's why God said, don't associate with someone that's like that. In Proverbs 29:11, God tells us this. It says, a fool gives full vent to their anger, but a wise person keeps themselves under control. I was a fool back then. I was a total fool back then. I can remember just recently had the grandkids, and when I took them back home, my daughter was met us by the car, and little James said, "Grandpa got mad at us today," and she said, "Oh, really?" And she says, "Yes, he got mad. He was mad." And she said, "Did he hit you?" And little James goes, "No." "Did he stop the car?" And James says, "No." He says, "Well, then he wasn't angry like he was when I was a kid." Tisha remembered what I was like. And so, in comparison now to my grandkids, it's like, to her, it's like, he didn't stop the car? He didn't hit you? Then he wasn't mad. Little James saw me as being mad, but she didn't, because she remembered how I used to be. That's why God says, only a fool gives full vent to their anger, but a wise person learns to keep it under control. And then in 29:11, that was 29. Let me go back to 22. Oh, let me go to 29:22. Tells us this: an angry person stirs up dissension, and a hot-tempered one commits many sins. An angry person, dissension is disunity. An angry person just stirs up all kinds of disunity. When I used to get angry, my family was just in total disarray. When my father got angry, the family was just total disarray. And it leads to many other sins. Uncontrolled anger leads to cursing, can lead to arguing, can lead to fighting, could lead to a lot of other sins. So I guess the question for those of you watching is, have you learned to control your anger? Everybody gets angry. Everybody gets angry. Remember, that's not a sin. What is a sin is uncontrolled anger, holding on to that anger, not letting it go, refusing to let it go. Then that becomes a sin. But anger's an emotion, just like love, like sorrow, like a lot of other things. It can just pop up. We have the power to deal with it because we have the Holy Spirit of God living within us. So as Dave Sloan would say when he did a message, just do it. Just do it. We have no excuse. We have no excuse to have uncontrolled anger. There's no excuse for it because we have the power to deal with it. We have the power to deal with every kind of sin. But here, anger. I hope this helped you. If any of you have anger, I hope this helped you a little bit. I know that it's helped me just in the words. The scriptures have helped me in the past, and I hope it's helped you. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I hope to see many of you tomorrow morning at Collision. God bless you all. The rest of you, morning, Marcy. The rest of you, I'll see you next Monday at 8 o'clock. Have a great day, a great weekend. God bless.